In this mental institution, a patient wrote complex formulas all over the wall. He says he's discovered a new integer between 3 and 4, and by proving the existence of this number, mankind could evolve from a 3-dimensional to a 4-dimensional being. Originally, no one took the ravings of a psychopath seriously, but the doctor found out that the patient was really a math master. He even won the Fields Medal 20 years ago. The doctor was intrigued. In order to verify the truth, he approached the patient and took out a jar of jelly beans. He wanted him to prove the number physically, and the old man seemed to have some skills. He started to demonstrate 1, 2, 3, but when he got to the 4th one, he suddenly stopped. He began to frown, and even his right hand couldn't stop trembling. After struggling with it again and again, he became very angry. Looking at the old man's state, the doctor had to calm him down and contacted the nurse immediately. The old man kept insisting that he wasn't crazy. When the caregiver arrived, he grabbed a handful of jelly beans and stuck them in his mouth. Then he went back to his room 304, but that night, something strange happened. The doctor went home as usual, but when the elevator passed the 4th floor, the indicator light on the 3rd floor didn't come on for a long time, as if there was another floor in between. The doctor was a bit shocked. His heart was shaken. Is there really a whole number between 3 and 4? He rushed home and took out today's recording and studied it carefully. According to the old man, there are at least 7 other imperceptible latitudes in human perception. According to Pythagoras' theory, everything in the universe can eventually be expressed in numbers. The more abstract and advanced things are, the more they need numbers to be understood. So if we can really find a new digital system that allows humans to realize dimensional evolution, it seems that what the old man said could really come true. Perhaps because he'd read too much math at once. The doctor had a splitting headache. He went to the bar to relax, but he looks down and sees that even the peanuts are 4 in number. He was so annoyed that he smashed the peanuts with his fist, threw them in his mouth and chewed on them, but the peanut left on the table strangely bursts in half. The doctor was shocked. He turned his head and saw the old man, who should have been locked up in the hospital, appearing in front of the bar. He hurriedly chased him out and followed his back to the end of an alley. He saw a black and white TV from the 60s. It was broadcasting a car accident that had hit the world 40 years ago. It was just an ordinary traffic accident, but the police investigated for half a year, but they couldn't find out the identity of the deceased. It was as if he never existed. Suddenly a little boy appeared in front of the TV, and he was the doctor from his childhood. Then a ringing phone woke him up, but the news on the other end of the line shocked the doctor again. The old man had really disappeared. They examined the room carefully, but except for the formulas on the walls, there was no sign of destruction. At that moment, the doctor suddenly saw the pen cap on the floor. He felt familiar with it. A childhood memory began to clear up in his mind. Sugar beans scattered on the floor, a pen without a cap, and the old man who had disappeared was lying on the ground with his face covered in blood. He seemed to be mumbling something. He finally remembered everything. It turned out that the mysterious man who was killed in the car accident 40 years ago was the disappeared old man. At that moment, the caretaker suddenly reached for the jelly beans on the table.
Don't touch those!
But it's too late. The red candy bean drew a beautiful arc in the air and went straight into the caregiver's mouth.
This is on me.
But when the doctor looked at the table, the red candy bean was still intact.